I'm not going to patronise you with the whole New Year, New You spiel. Saving is hard and it doesn't come naturally to everyone, myself included. And if you're someone who's looking to save more, you've probably read or watched 10 ways to save more this year, blogs or videos, and we all kind of get the gist. So in this video, I want to look at some more alternative ways to save money, including some that don't even require you to put any money into a savings account each month. As always, give this video some love below and subscribe for more savings content like this. My first tip is all about making a little free cash on the side and then using that cash to earn extra money throughout the year. In the past, when I got a bank switch deal, I typically used the money to get myself a little treat. But if you chuck that money into a high interest savings account instead, you could earn interest on it throughout the year. The highest switch deal at the moment are First Direct and Nationwide, both offering £175. If you chuck that money in Chip's Easy Access Saver, for example, which offers 4.85% interest, you would have £183.49 by the end of the year, earning yourself a neat £8.49 in interest. Now that's almost £200 saved over the year from doing nothing but switching your bank. When you sign up to Nationwide or First Direct, you also get access to their regular savers, which come with even higher interest rates. The catch with regular savers is that typically, to get those high rates, you need to pay in regular amounts each month. And they may also come with limits on how many times you can withdraw your money across the year. But with Nationwide's Flex Saver, which offers 6.5% interest, there is no requirement to pay in anything each month. So if you popped your £175 bank switching money in this account, you'd have £186.38 by the end of the year, having made £11.38 in interest. With First Direct's regular saver, you have to pay in at least 25 quid each month to get their 7% savings rate. If you can afford that, you could use this as an incentive to get you saving consistently each month for a year. With your £175 deposit and a monthly payment of just £25, by the end of the year you could have £498.63 in your account, earning £23.63 in interest. Now I get it, you may be thinking, £10 to £20 in interest, isn't that exciting? But when you consider you're getting free money from free money, it's certainly better than nothing. Over several years, and if you're able to top up your account even by small amounts each month, you'll really start to see those numbers add up. One way to really save money is to see if there's anything that's costing you money that doesn't need to be. One of the most common examples of this for a lot of people is their credit card debt. If you're carrying a credit card balance, chances are you're paying around 20 to 30% interest on the debt over a year. Let's say you have a credit card balance of £1,000 with a 20% rate. Even if you're paying off £100 a month, you'd still pay around £94 in interest. Over the 11 months, it would take you to pay it off. And it would take you 11 months rather than 10 payments of £100 because you are paying off that extra interest too. So that's nearly £100 wasted on interest payments alone. You could avoid these interest charges with a 0% balance transfer card, which charges you no interest for a set period, sometimes for as long as 2 years. Typically, balance transfer cards charge a fee for you to transfer your balance, but some cards, typically ones with shorter interest-free periods, will offer no balance transfer fee. So if you can pay off your balance in a shorter time frame, these are really good cards to look out for. Depending on your debt amount and the interest-free period you get with your card, a balance transfer card could also give you more flexibility over your repayments. For example, if you have a balance transfer card with an interest-free period of 12 months with no balance transfer fee, you would have the space to split the repayments of your £1,000 debt over 12 months, leaving you with monthly repayments of around £84 instead of £100, which might be more affordable for some people, and all because you're not rushing to pay it off before you get hit with another monthly interest charge. Let's quickly look at a repayment example with a card that has a balance transfer fee. These fees are typically around 2 to 5% of your credit card debt. Let's say you get a card with a fee of 3.5%. That would add an extra £35 to your £1,000 debt, which is still better than paying off your £1,000 debt plus £94 in interest charges. Okay, this savings tip isn't super alternative, but it is very low effort. If you don't even know where to start with saving, or you have a particular aversion to spreadsheets, you could download a budgeting app like Plum or Emma. When you get one of these apps, you basically link up all of your current accounts and credit cards. And the app uses a system called Open Banking to review your incomings and your outgoings and assess how much it thinks you can afford to save each month. Your budgeting app will then automatically take that amount from your nominated account and chuck it into a separate pot. A lot of these apps also come with extra features that help you organize your money, set savings goals, invest, check your credit reports, avoid paying for wasteful or duplicate subscriptions, and more. So you can really make them your HQ for a bit of a money overhaul in 2025. It's almost too simple, but simply turning on something like Roundups, an automated feature that saves spare change into a separate pot every time you spend, could save you hundreds every year. I use Monzo for all of my day-to-day spending and have turned on spare change Roundups, and I end up with around 30 quid in my Roundups every month. If I didn't touch that, over a year I would have 360 quid in my Roundups pot by the end of the year. And that's money I've technically saved from spending. As an extra booster, Chase Bank offers a 5% interest rate on money in your Roundups pot. So if you imagine 30 quid a month is going into that pot, I could earn an extra 18 quid interest on that money over the year. Now, if you're doing several of the tips I've mentioned in this video, all of those 10, 20, 18 pound interest payments will start to add up over the year. Speaking of budgeting apps, Plum are currently offering 10 quid cashback when you save £100. So if that budgeting app takes your fancy, check out the link in the description below to find out more. 2024 was the year of the viral social media savings challenge. And before you roll your eyes or click away, stay with me here because I was skeptical at first. But the reality is that gaming anything can make it feel a lot less like a chore. And as is the case with some of these challenges, randomizing your savings can make it feel much more manageable and a lot less like this constant uphill slog. One of the most viral challenges was the 100 envelope challenge, where you write an amount from £1 to £100 on 100 envelopes. And each day you randomly choose an envelope and save that amount in it. Once all the envelopes are full, you'd have around £5,050 saved. A couple of thoughts on this challenge. Who has cash to hand? And even if I did, I wouldn't be able to save £100 one day and then 86 quid the next day and then potentially £99 the next day. You know, 5K is a lot of money to put aside over 100 days. But the great thing about these challenges is that you can tweak them to work for you. So some people adapted the 100 envelopes challenge into the 52-week challenge, where you save amounts from £1 to £52 each week over the course of a year. This would leave you with £1,378 in savings after a year. And if you don't have cash, you could, of course, just use the envelopes as props and then transfer the money into a savings account or separate pot rather than relying on having cold hard cash just lying around. A couple of other popular challenges include the £1 challenge, where you save just £1 every day for a year. Saving £1 every day feels like a lot of faff to me. And I'd argue using something like spare change Roundups is an easier way to automate small savings amounts. But I guess with Roundups, you just can't guarantee that you're saving £1 every day. And just this morning, I actually got a notification from Monzo about their new 1p savings challenge. This is where you save 1p one day, 2p on the second day, 3p on the third day, all the way up to £3.65 after a year. Now, if you did this challenge for a whole year, you would have saved £667.95. Another challenge, and maybe one of my favourites, is where you save £10 in January, £20 in February, £30 in March, and so on, up to 120 quid in December. This would give you £780 in savings by the end of the year. And now, if it were me, I would tweak this a little bit further and reverse the amounts. December is an expensive month for me, and I don't do a whole lot in January, so it'd be much easier for me to put aside £120 in January and then slowly reduce that amount throughout the year. Either way, if you're following the basic structure of this challenge, you know you'll have £780 by the end of the year. I'd love to hear what you think about saving money in 2025 and any techniques you're trying in the comments below. Scroll down to the description to check out some more info on everything I mentioned in this video, as well as some sign-up bonuses and offers we think you might like, including some links to that first direct saver and more.